All right, so I'm about to do something insane today for you guys. I've been seeing a comment saying like, yo, Marilli, you should use ZANERI on Nidhogg. Now, if you don't know what ZANERI Holy Relic pretty much does, for every debuff that she cleanses, she'll give your human allies 2% base stats up to 20% base stats, so pretty much 20% base stats. And for each debuff she cleanses, she will heal your max HP by 5%. I think that's what it is, like max HP 5%. So it's a crazy heal whenever you have debuffs on you. Now again, we are going to be using ZANERI on Nidhogg, so you better hit that like button, subscribe, all that shenanigans, because I'm probably going to suffer. Now I came up with this type of team featuring Red Magelda, and that's because Red Magelda will also be a healer slash cleanse character, allowing you to heal whenever you use a cleanse card, and you will gain, I think it was like 5%, no, it's 8% HP related stats up to like 30% whenever she uses her cleanse card to debuff. And then you also get gauge every time she uses the skill. So you both have it. So you're basically having her 30% HP related stats plus ZANERI's heal as well. So you're gonna give Arthur so much HP, which Arthur just love having HP, because then he's gonna hit like a truck. And you already know we got Yuri, who's gonna provide us the the stance removal and debuff removal, which are very much needed for Nidhogg. And she also gives base stats per human on the field, so this is gonna give us a good whopping 15%, which is really nice for Arthur. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe again. This is gonna be my gear set I'm gonna be using, and this is gonna be the artifact card set, if you're wondering. So hopefully you guys enjoy, and hopefully I don't suffer too much. All right, so we are gonna be using the Holy Relic of ZANERI on Nidhogg, and honestly, our Holy Relic is actually a really powerful one if you are using it with paired alongside some characters who really need the base stats, like a human character, or if you face off against a boss that will provide a lot of debuffs. Now again, I guess the only issue when it comes to ZANERI being a character who needs a lot of debuffs is that you don't know how often you will be able to pull her cleanse card. That is going to be one of the huge issues on being able to cleanse. Now we are using this without using LR Elizabeth. Now again, LR Elizabeth is a character that probably most people don't really have, and honestly LR Elizabeth would make life so much easier. Honestly, you wouldn't even need ZANERI if you get LR Elizabeth. It's like the red seasonal one, which unfortunately not too many people have her. Wait, was she given out for free before? I don't think so. Was she? But if you have her, you pretty much don't even care about this video technically right now. Now again, we're using both Red Magelda plus ZANERI just to provide you a lot of HP. Now I have tried this team using just ZANERI, but the problem that this team ends up lacking is recovering, because you don't, again, like I said before, you don't know how often you will pull a cleanse card to be able to heal. And as long as the boss is providing debuffs to us, we're going to be able to heal. Now again, we are facing off against Nidhogg. Again, Nidhogg, if you have LR Elizabeth, it makes it a lot easier. Usually the goddess team is the best team for Nidhogg. That's usually, like, if you have like Mael, LR Elizabeth, it's pretty much GG. Especially you got paired alongside of Freya with her Holy Relic as well. This team is really good though, because again, you're just using Arthur to be your DPS. Now again, Arthur is your only DPS, which is kind of unfortunate. We are using Red Magelda, which again, I was just trying to figure out what character I should use for this team, because again, you want to have characters that will pretty much benefit Arthur if you're going to use Arthur. And if I'm not mistaken, Magelda does increase your HP related stats, so that can increase our overall max HP, which then allow us to do more damage. And she also has the ability where if she uses a skill, you fill up ultimate move gauge, which could be really nice for ult rushing, because again, not so many, it's like so many times where you end up having moments where you need to ult. So I think that's where she can really clutch up to pretty much push for your ultimate. because again, your team is lacking a lot of DPS, being Arthur being your only DPS character, unfortunately. So again, we're just using ZANERI. Also, the one big issue when using Arthur team is that Arthur does not clear stances, which is unfortunate, because if this man to clear stance, he would be so much helpful and useful for the team. Like if you've seen with DK Meliodas or Queen Elizabeth, them having the ability to clear stances has made them very useful in terms of the Nidhogg fight, because again, you need a character who can cleanse stances, and that's why you see I'm using Yuri. For anybody who's wondering why am I using Yuri, and Yuri is going to be that character for the stance removal and the buff removal as well, because on the floor too, you need a buff removal character. And if you ever look at the human roster, it's not the greatest. Like literally only one buff removal character is like LR Escanor, and if you're using LR Escanor, that means you're going to be lacking in terms of stats. And then you also have a stance. There's literally no stance remove characters that are human, which is again very unfortunate. I think the only character that can remove stances that are human is like literally, was it Rit Thonar? The dog character, the dog unit character, and that's only if she gets like a silver card. So that's why it's not really worthwhile to use Thonar, just because like you just have no clear stance characters. So whenever they give us better characters that can at least clear stances, it's gonna make it harder to use like an Arthur based team. Like again, ZANERI has a good passive. Like honestly, you could use her without Arthur, and she'd probably be a very clutch character. Again, I'm just using this Arthur for the video. Again, I could probably just use like a fun DK Meliodas team and probably just clutch up with the ZANERI, because ZANERI does allow you to heal based on the debuffs from the max HP. Like that passive, that part of her passive, you don't really need humans. The only part that is human based is the base stat boosting that she gives when cleansing those debuffs and stuff like that. But you definitely could probably just run like a DK Meliodas team, and it might be pretty much fine. But if you're going to use DK Meliodas, who is pretty much a god tier character, you're not gonna really need to use ZANERI. Like why would you even want to try to use ZANERI if you have DK Meliodas? Like if you have DK Meliodas, you might even have LR Elizabeth. Or if you don't have LR Elizabeth, then you can just usually just use like Green Elizabeth, the green version of the red one. He's really good still too. Like you could probably just use like a you can use like probably what DK Meliodas, a festival DN being red or green. Green probably way better. And then you can also use Green Elizabeth, and then probably whatever else. Who would be a good character? This Green Elizabeth giving me healing. But yeah, I like this team featuring ZANERI and stuff like that. Again, if you have debuffs, you're gonna be really good, and Arthur ends up having a lot of max HP. I don't know how many people probably have Rid Magilda. Oh, you probably could have like double healer function with Rid Magilda too, because Rid Magilda is kind of clutch at building up ult gauge and stuff like that. So you can probably run DK Meliodas, maybe Green Giant DN, the festival version, Green Elizabeth, and then Rid Magilda. But if not, you probably can use like what, DK Meliodas, not Demon King, the other Demon King. Again, it all depends on you. But as long as you have like LR Elizabeth, you'll be okay too. Now again, this is where it is a little bit of a struggle because of RNG. Because what this one you really need to do is you have to get a AoE. You have to get their AoE silver card to remove the buff. So you got to bring him super low and then remove the HP. You have to remove the buff at the end, because if you remove the buff pretty fast, he gets like a crazy amount of damage reduction stacks. So you want to be very careful with that. And again, this team is going to have a lot of characters who can heal. So that is gonna be the really good part about it. Also, I think probably the bigger issue also to this team is that it's very hard to stack those Arthur Chaos stacks, right? Because again, you're using characters who you need to build gauge, so you can't like really hold on to ultimates like that. You have to actually use your ultimates if you're gonna do that, or use a character that can build up gauge. And I feel like that's also a bad thing about Miguelda, is that with Miguelda, because you're building up gauge, it makes it so easy for you to not stack chaos stacks with Arthur, because chaos Arthur, he only gets those stacks from either merging your cards that are human, moving your cards that are human, and using a skill. You don't really get chaos stacks from passives that give you gauge, right? So it makes it very, very hard for you to use Arthur. And again, I do like ZANERI too, because her ult is okay-ish. Obviously, her ult can be a lot better in terms of what it does. But it's not no huge issue where I'm struggling or anything like that. I just feel like it'd probably be a lot better. Now you can see I'm just pretty much just stacking up. Just stalling a little bit, just so I can have at least one one stance removal card in my hand. Or at least some other cards. And I probably shouldn't have been doing all this stacking just because how typical it probably is. But because of the way how the debuffs work for Yuri, you can just stall him out and he won't be able to AoE at all. For some reason, he doesn't AoE at all because she does apply that debuff, the one that steals AoE skills, so he won't attack you. So that's why Yuri is actually really good on Nidhogg, because for these type of fights up to floor phase 1, you get to be able to seal the opponent's AoEs, kind of allow you to not get hit. Again, this is the one that doesn't really do damage though, so not too crazy. So you can see, unfortunately, I can't stack anything right now unless I like ults. And right now I don't have the Chaos Taunt at all with Arthur. So I'm over here just struggling, trying to figure out like what are my plays here. Because again, I'm gonna be without a taunt for the next phase. That's why I say like holding on to your ultimate is actually pretty terrible. So you just see me, I'm just end up using them. Because again, I'm trying to build Arthur stacks, right? I'm trying to build Arthur stacks. That's why I just ended up just using it. Because I keep forgetting that if you try to hold on to your ultimates, you're not going to get no chaos stacks, which means you get no chaos domination, and then they're going to target Miguelda. Or even ZANERI, who are low HP characters. So we have stance removal character. We're just checking our HP, and you can see I'm actually have really good HP for my characters. I guess you can say like the defensive stats aren't the best for these characters sometimes. And the good thing about this is that they have nerfed the Nidhogg like a long time ago, where he applies red infect debuffs. So the more debuffs, the better for us. And we just ult Miguelda. And then we just attack with Arthur. Again, Arthur's going to keep doing a lot of damage because, again, it's Arthur, right? So the more you get Arthur cards, the better. The only unfortunate thing is when he doesn't get cards, you know? That's where it really sucks. But as long as we're using Miguelda, who can help us build up ult gauge, we should be fine. Every time. And we can just keep building up our ultimates. Again, I wish Arthur could like clear stances. It would have been a lot easier using them for most of this fight. Because if he had the ability to clear stances, it would have been a lot easier to build teams around him. But unfortunately, he doesn't clear stances at all. Cause what does Arthur do? He just give you like those buffs and stuff like that. But like what? Depending on your ult level, I think at like 6 out of 6, he gives you like 20% all stats. Which I guess is decent. And I think he gets like, I think he gives himself also chaos stacks as well, which is really good. Maybe one of these days I'm gonna give him some dupes. Alright, cause I need to do like one more rotation on this guy. Cause unfortunately, I only got him like 2 out of 6 in one rotation, which is actually pretty lucky. Cause my boy Amazing, that man got shafted pretty hard for his birthday. That man had like what? I forgot, what was it? He got 2 out of 6 in like 2 rotations. That stuff was so hilarious. At least I'm hoping that I can at least get this man 4 out of 6. Like 4 out of 6 would be mad decent. Even though I didn't really care too much about this banner. I'm not gonna lie to you, this banner is like pretty terrible. I think the only thing that's good on this banner is Transcendent Bond. I think in most of my videos, I literally mistakenly said, yo, that this banner had like Demon King for so long. Because I wanted to add more value to the banner than it actually was. Okay, because this banner literally had, this banner actually had like no value at all, really. I guess if you missed it, like Margaret dupes or something, LR Margaret, or was Escanor on there too? Like green Escanor? I forget. I know they gave out a free green Escanor or something like that for people who like missing out dupes and stuff. Which I mean, Escanor is cool and all, but yo, they always just do the most terrible characters. Like who the heck cares about LR Escanor, bro? He's trash. One thing he's good for is like building up CC for pretty much the Arthur team. He doesn't really do much. You know what we really care about? Getting a free copy of LR Red Elizabeth. But they probably not gonna do Red LR Elizabeth ever, bro. Until like she becomes useless, like what they did with Trader Meliodas. Just because how good she actually is. But she's really powerful in Demonic Beast. She might be even very helpful for the new Demonic Beast that will be coming out. What that man named like the squirrel, the Red Tusker, might be very useful for that. Who knows? But I think I doubt that, just because they always want to make the Demonic Beast super hard, just so you have to summon for the next character that will be made for that Demonic Beast. That's how it usually goes. It happened with Miguelda, it happened with Jormungandr, happened with Red Thonar, and it happened with Freya technically. Freya technically was like a mixed match because Freya really made her useful for Nidhogg. And even then it was just like bearable. I think it came like actually it was bearable. Because I guess Mael did also help that as well. Mael. So it all depends sometimes. I think it came a little bit easier when Summer Margaret came out, but even then, when Summer Margaret came out, it was pretty much a skip for me because I already had dupes on Mael and stuff like that, so it was already like a super skip for me. Just because how much, because I already had like high dupe Mael, so I already had great debuffs whenever I ulted, and it was always easy because I also had Elat, which was for some reason I had higher dupes of her. And I'm looking like, how do I have higher dupes of her than my red one? I'm like, golly. That it was like the blue one, and I had higher dupes on the blue one than the red one, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, and as you can see, I'm just pretty much progressing this pretty easily. The funny thing is, this is probably how the farthest I'm probably gonna go, and you're gonna probably notice that when I make it to floor 3. Floor 3 is probably this is gonna be probably the highest you're gonna probably ever get with this type of team. Featuring ZANERI. Unfortunately, ZANERI does not compensate you not having LR Red Elizabeth. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Red LR Elizabeth, it's just that girl, unfortunately. She is the GOAT. So yeah, you are not getting no character that is gonna compete with Red LR Elizabeth, unfortunately. mean, I wish that they gave characters that was as good as Rid LR Elizabeth, who's going to be useful in like all of the demonic beasts. I guess it's like not that bad, just because of the fact that she's not like perfect or anything like that. Like she's just okay-ish. Golly, I'm not doing that damage. So the problem with me right now is that I'm not doing no damage because he has so much buffs. That's what I say the problem with Arthur in terms of PvE is that he doesn't do anything but give you stats. When there's so many bosses who need to get the clear stance on Nidhogg, buff remove on Nidhogg, and I felt like if he did one of those things, like buff remove or at least clear stance, he would have had a little bit more value in terms of the Nidhogg fight. But right now he just okay-ish at the moment. So you can see I'm really just trying to struggle on what plays I want to do, because again, you have to be below 50% or he gets like a crazy attack buff. And luckily enough for me, I get my silver card for Yuri, and that gives you a buff removal because this man was stacking up so many damage reduction stacks. It was insane. So again, luckily they gave me my freaking cleanse, my buff removal card. I mean, Arthur did do a lot of damage, but it's just that my other characters wouldn't do damage. That was the only big issue, that my other characters was not doing damage because of it. Maybe if I had like a 6/6 Arthur, maybe it might be a little bit better running this team. Cause then I could use, cause if I had a 6/6 Arthur, right, I'll get a 20% all stat boost, which means I can get better recovery. Maybe that might be a little bit better, but I don't know. It's kind of like hit or miss. But lucky enough, we were able to remove all his buffs. I'll probably say if you're gonna do this fight all the way up to floor 2, you need to save up probably Yuri card, at least to silver, to remove those buffs, because getting all those damage reduction stacks will make it very hard for your other characters that isn't named Arthur to do damage, no matter how much dupes you have on your Miguelda or anything like that. So this is gonna probably be GG pretty soon, because again, I'm about to have my ultimate with Arthur, and if I get one more attack card with Arthur, we can just finish him off right here. And you see I'm doing crazy damage, and I got one more card with Arthur, so yeah, this is gonna be GG. Yeah, so we're just gonna make it to floor 3 with this team. Again, this was just a fun little meme team. I like to just, you know, because I've had comments where people are like, yo, I'm really try out the ZANERI on Nidhogg. It might be actually fire. I'm just saying like, okay. You know, you can tell sometimes where a team might not be as great as you think. Sometimes you can just tell, unfortunately. Because the way how the team, like, you just know how the Nidhogg functions. You just know like, okay, I might be only able to get this far with a team. And that's because I played Nidhogg a lot. So, you know, you sometimes just inherently just know how far you can get with a team, unfortunately. But you know, I'm a YouTuber, so I like to suffer and try out teams. Like, even though I know how bad it might be for me, it might take hours, I still test them out. So, you know, you just gotta make sure you like and subscribe for more content where I suffer. So this is floor 3. I'm letting you know right now, guys, this is gonna probably be the end of the video, as we do not beat floor 3. And the reason why I say that is because what have I been saying this entire video is that for Miguelda and ZANERI, you need debuffs. That's the only way you're gonna be healing an insane amount if the boss has debuffs. But guess what? Floor 3 phase 1 does not debuff you at all, not a lick. So that these characters are trash, and you're gonna see right here, I'm probably just gonna get blasted left and right, because guess what? They do not heal. So yeah, unfortunately, Miguelda is useless. ZANERI is useless for floor 3 phase 1. If you can some way figure out how to get through floor 3 phase 1 without needing to heal, you're a better man than me, because it's almost impossible. And you can see he's gonna hit me for a truckload of damage, and he hasn't even got his attack buff yet. Imagine when he gets his attack buff. It's GG if you can't heal. Yep, you can't heal with your cleanse cards. You can't heal with the ZANERI card because again, you need debuffs. So again, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video with me using ZANERI on NIDHOGG. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching me suffer. If they ever come out with a character who can allow you to heal without you needing to be debuffed. Like I remember when Magelda was kind of bugged where she was healing you just because she used her cleanse card. And oh my god, she made NIDHOGG so much easier back in those days. If they kept that same thing, like what you saw right there, like she used to just heal you when she used that cleanse card. If they would have kept that, oh my god, she would have been such a great unit to use other than Red Elizabeth. But unfortunately, the game does not make healers like that just because they want to sell characters. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like and subscribe again. Maybe the Ragnarok character next month might be a healer. Might be really good. Who knows? Might be a character for the new Demon Beast. Who knows? Just know I pretty much just lost. Like he did really good damage right there, but I can't heal. Look, I'm not healing. Just because there's no debuffs. So the heal was trash. So yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe again. This is what I do, man. I suffer for content just for you guys. Just from the guys, I'm out. Peace.